Great-grandmother who gave some robbers she caught on her property more than they ever bargained for. From Kentucky, please welcome former Miss America, Venus Ramey. Okay, so let's talk about the trouble on the farm. What happened?
I was out feeding my animals, my dogs, and all of a sudden they pricked up their ears and took off and ran over to a shop I have. I'm collecting old machinery from the 20th century to make a museum out of it. And I've been having a lot of thefts. Scrap metal was very high now. So I went in the house and got my gun and jumped in my pickup truck and drove over there, and sure enough, there was an SUV sitting in the door and there was a trailer behind it. So I drove up very close to it, and so they couldn't get away. And I got out, and there was a man taking a piece of machinery apart. So I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Well, we're scrapping." And I said, "Well, you have to be scrapping my metal." And he said, "Well, okay, if you move your truck, we'll leave." I said, "Oh, no, you won't." So I got my gun and I shot the tire out of the vehicle. Anyway, it didn't go down. And
Wait, can I ask you how often do you practice a lot? Because that's a pretty good...
No, I'm from Kentucky. You know, it's natural born with that. Did you hear the Hatfields and McCoys?
Uh-huh.
Well, anyway.
All right, so
you weren't born then. Anyway,
you shoot the tire.
Yeah, and it did go down, so I shot it again. And so then the men just stood there. There were two of them. And I got in my truck and back to the roadway and started flagging cars down to see who had a cell phone. And 2 or 3 stopped that said they had a cell phone, so they went on. But the trouble is, somebody driving by called the sheriff and said, "There's a crazy woman out there flailing around with a gun in her hand." So when the police came, we had 4 deputy sheriff cars blocking the roadway, you know. Ruined my reputation. Anyway, the police got out and drew their guns, you know. A woman had stopped by to stay with me, and then a man had stopped by too. So I had 2 people. So they thought they were my accomplices, no doubt, that I was a dangerous criminal. So we finally took about 10 minutes to explain that the criminals don't stand out there and wait for the police to come.
Yeah.
So anyway.
They were just standing there waiting?
Yeah, the 3 of us were standing there waiting.
Yeah, but what about the guys? They just stood there and waited for the police?
Oh, yeah, well, what could they do? Their tire was shot out.
Yeah.
They couldn't leave. And they didn't do anything. I had the gun.
Right. Here's what we did for you. We want to take care of you. So we got you a no trespassing sign and a megaphone and a gun holster on a walker that you can bring it on out. Because she's a former Miss America, we have a Miss Don't Mess With Me. You have a tiara, you have everything on there, you have a gun holster, and nobody's going to mess with you again. That's a fantastic story. And then, yeah, and then you can use that, the little walkie-talkie thing there, and scream out at them.
That'll scare the police.
Yeah. All right, well, thanks for being here. You're fantastic.
Wonderful.
All right, we'll be back with Lindsay Lohan, everybody. So do you want to set the record straight? Because I guess there was a letter that was released or something about your behavior on the set.